I'm not saying that anything I have written is of any import, but there was one little thing that I have a kind of a special fondness of. In 1976, the nation celebrated, as you recall, its bicentennial. And all of Lower Manhattan, below City Hall Square, was closed off, and so the crowds could use the streets. And the crowd that evening was admirable. Everybody was in good humor. People were patient and pleasant. They flooded the streets down to the Battery, where there would be this fireworks exhibit over the bay. Well, we didn't try to go down that far because we knew the crowd would be immense there, and there were trees ringing the Battery Park, and you wouldn't be able to see much over the trees. You could see up in the sky for the fireworks, but the crowd would be enormous. So about Fulton Street, which is right around where City Hall Square is, we crossed over to the Hudson River side, where the river is flowing down into the bay. And the shore there had been filled with landfill, and the crowd would like to get out there, but the crowd wanted to get up on the highway, but the police wouldn't allow that. I think the weight of the people might cause the highway to collapse. But the crowd had liberated a certain part of the cyclone fence which separated the highway from the river, where there was this landfill. And so we all streamed through the hole in the fence out onto the landfill, and there you could look straight down the Hudson River, right down toward where the Statue of Liberty is, a couple of miles south. And so a lot of us were out on that promontory, and we watched the fireworks at 9 o'clock. And at the end, Zeppelin towed a flag made of lights way above the Statue of Liberty. As one man said to me, he said, the Statue of Liberty looked like a real person there. They had this great statue lit up by the fireworks at night. It was a splendid scene. And then when we returned home, the subway system, like everything else, was working perfectly. At the subway stations, right at that point in Lower Manhattan, they would have a train coming in every minute, and we all piled in there. I was wearing the Roman collar and cleric, so the crowd said, make way for me. I got into this crowded train, all happy African-American and Latino people. I remember there, standing in the middle of the crowd, were two Anglo-Saxon looking people, a tall, youngish man, blonde, and his wife, equally blonde, and the man was holding their little infant son, a little baby about a year old. So subsequently, we have a one-page feature in every issue called Of Many Things. Not the world's most exhilarating title, but there it is. And I remember I wrote a little essay for that about this great bicentennial celebration, and I rather liked that, because at the end of the evening, we were all out on that landfill looking down the river, and of course we couldn't hear the band that was playing at the Battery, that was several miles away. But toward the end of the evening, the band played the Star-Spangled Banner, and people in the crowd on the landfill, some of them had transistor radios. So they had the radios turned on, and we could hear the band and the people singing at the Battery, and the crowd on the landfill sort of took up the song, and they sang too, somewhat tentatively, as people will in such circumstances, because they don't have the band right there. But in the night, this national anthem, you might say it sounded almost more like a hymn than an anthem, celebrating this 200th anniversary of the nation's existence. 9/11 fall in the future, but not far enough, I suppose. But that was a memorable evening, and I'm not saying the OMT had any distinction, but I was pleased to be able to commemorate the evening by writing that little tiny essay on it.